And we are now live. Alright, so this is part 2 of my lecture. You guys might remember, and for those of you who missed it, I advise you go on to my YouTube and watch it. But this will be part 2 of my lecture, where we have begun playing Go with orientation in mind. Every game that we play is influence, 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 influence. Even against, top-end Dom level players. We're still playing influence because clearly that was the way to play Go. It was just all influence. Um, Unfortunately, we get to a point when we're playing all influence that people kind of know how to recognize when you're building influence, and they're not very happy when you do that. Doesn't really continue to go very well. Most unfortunate, most unfortunate. So today we're going to look at a couple of games where we realize something is going wrong in our play. And unfortunately, when we make this realization, we always have something happen to us. And I'm going to go over that first. There's always something that happens to us first when we make that realization. And that's the first game I'm going to go over now. I could not be any more vague. This game, what game was this? This game was actually played against a 3Q. And let's actually put the players up here. Me and... Do we, give out his name? Sure, why not? He was 3Q, and I was 3Q. Do I give out my name for this too? You guys might find it funny. Sure, what the hell. Oops, shoot. Heck. What? Oh, come on. Stop complaining. There we go. Alright, so I was white. Yes, instantly we have a laugh. Great. Still IGS, yes, still IGS. Now, I was 3Q when this took place, which was probably, I don't know, a couple of months after, after my previous games, because I did go from, learning how to play Go to one done in the space of a year. So all the games aren't that spread apart, but for me they were, and for me a lot of these games are memorable. And that's what we're going over, my memorable games. So this time I'm white. It does bear mentioning that despite being white, I still try and have the exact same strategy. However, and I don't have a game to show this, but I realized that the 5-4 is white. It didn't really work out for me, even against some of the lower players. It really needed to be black, which should have been a hint. If I can't play it as white, there's something obviously going wrong there. But I realized I was having trouble with it as white, so I didn't do the 5-4. But I did do a lot of 4-4s, and I usually liked going into Sanrinsei when possible. Unfortunately, he blocks me from doing that. So right away we can't make our framework, and we're sad because of this, because we want influence, but it's fine because I'm going to go and approach him and see if I can't get a large framework. In fact, I learned that if... Yes, this 3K is on IGS still. Old... Oh, is this 3K on IGS? I don't know. I have no idea. The ranking system isn't even on IGS still, because the ranking system changed and everyone went up 3 ranks from this. Because everything used to be highest amateur was 4 dan, then they changed that to 7 dan, so... Big difference. Now the ranks are all meaningless now when you see these games, but nah, for me they still have meaning. But anyway, wanted to play Influence still. So I see him back off, and one thing that I liked doing back then was approaching if they back off, because I'm trying to build up as fast as possible. Sometimes. Because occasionally I still wanted to go for influence. And occasionally when I went for influence, this is what happened. We're going and punching around his stone now that we have nice little expansions everywhere. He's being rather conservative and settling. I'm trying to develop as fast as possible. He's being really conservative and trying to defend his and take solid points of territory. I'm still trying to develop. I'm white in this game. So what happens here is occasionally when I played this way, something really, really bad happened. And I'll let you guys tell me what that really, really bad thing is. You'll probably notice it immediately. But right now he's trying to live in my corner, which is a clear mistake. There's no reason to be jealous over this right now. Even getting something like this should be more than enough. Settle here and keep reducing, for example. Nice way to deal with a crazy person who's trying to play very, very fast and build up. No reason to immediately take the 3/3s and get all jealous of whatever white's trying to build. You can just take it easy and reduce it normally. But a lot of players, they had that jealousy streak. They saw what you were building and they wanted to get rid of it immediately. Right? I'm sure a lot of you guys have run into these kinds of players. Some of you might run into these players when you look in a mirror. So you should recognize this very, very easily. And it's not a good thing. Must learn not to be jealous. Because now he's hurting his stone, which means I get to continue hurting him. So he's backing off. Wow, how did I do that? For frack's sake. Alright, messing up a pro game, I understand. Messing up my own game, that's just sad. Oh my god. Herp butter 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 derp 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 burp burp. There we go. And we're back to being normal. It's slightly embarrassing. But yes, this is the actual game. Right off the bat, we can see that Black is in a little bit of trouble. He'll probably live, but he's being surrounded. Now, can anyone tell me what the problem with that is? And how it relates to this game in particular? What is the problem with Black's position? White's gaining influence, yes. Tan and Figolfin. Absolutely what I was looking for immediately. White's getting influence. And the problem with this is around this time, I'm running into a lot of games, a lot of stretches in a row, just like game after game after game, where I'm going after influence, and I'm getting smashed for it, right? So around this time, I'm starting to think maybe going for the whole influence idea isn't really a good thing. And that's usually backed up by all the professional games that I've been going over at this point. Because at the time I'm 3Q, I've seen them for months on end now, because I'm like reviewing them constantly. Or not reviewing them, memorizing them constantly. So at this point I'm realizing, I'm not seeing this style a lot that I keep playing in my own games. And I'm noticing that the higher I go, the harder it is to do this. So I'm starting to have serious doubts that this is actually the way I should be playing. And amidst those doubts, you occasionally run into a player like this, who will piss you off. Why? We'll see in a moment. He decides to reduce. He decides to jump in and try and reduce me. Immediately, take everything away. Awesome. I try and attack him as a result. He decides he doesn't want to die because he's not nice like that. My life and death still isn't really that great as a 3Q, so it doesn't surprise anyone that I just let him live. We're not going to attack him, we're going to surround him. Because at this point, I'm getting influence, and that seems like a good thing again, so I'm just going to keep building up the influence. I'm turning into a bot. I'm just going to back away from everything and still try to win. And this is the kind of thing that I'm trying to kick at this point. But unfortunately, essentially this game is like I'm a recovering alcoholic and he's just offering me more and more booze. It's really, really frustrating. Because all of this influence is going to be great for me. So, sure, he's gonna just, forget all... Oops, I don't play that. I play this. Oh my god, I'm horrible. He's just trying to do everything at once. He's not alive on the bottom, but he's trying to reduce me out in the middle. So this is kind of giving weight to, okay, the influence thing is working. So that's unfortunate. I don't want this. I want him to kill me. But luckily, and here's the thing that's the saving grace of this entire game, is this right here. He doesn't connect, he drops down. So even though I get to cut him, because I'm trying to get better at this point, and reviewing all of my games, I can go back to here and realize, okay, that should never have happened. He should have just connected here, and he'll probably live out in the middle. So maybe the only reason I get a decent result in this game is because he is still making mistakes, and maybe trying to go solely for influence like this is actually still a bad thing. But during the game, that's a completely another story. Because during the game, he's going absolutely crazy trying to do everything at once. I'm getting away with it. So if I don't review this game and look to see even how I won, I might be tempted to go back and just say to myself, well, the influence thing is clearly working, so maybe we should just stick with it. Maybe the hundreds of games we've lost is just because we were bad and we need to improve on this whole trying to get influence thing. Maybe when we do that, we'll win more games. Because yeah, here, as you can see, and I'm going to go through it really, really quickly, he's just trying to live locally. I get to build up. He's after territory like a crazy person. I block in the wrong direction because I am horrible. Make no mistake, I am still bad at this game at 3Q. Yeah, I have an SGF file, which is how I'm able to go over this. I remember most of it. I remember why I hated this game and why I saved it. I don't remember the exact order, though. So yeah, he just gives me more and more influence. He tries to take it away, but he's doing it badly. He kicks my stone, trying to force a fight, leading me into the center. I give up the stone to keep developing. And clearly, as you can see here, we are learning the wrong lesson now. And that wrong lesson is just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Because, as Kalen has just mentioned, yeah, that center. He tries to reduce it, but by now it's too late. And I'm sure no one will be surprised if in this game I point out that everything in the center just freaking dies. I don't think we actually have to see the center. We don't actually have to see that fight, right? Because he hasn't actually tried to use Aji. He just tries to... Oh, for frack's sake. That stone was wrong too. I'm really good at this. I'm really good at this. He doesn't actually try and do it with influence, or doesn't do it with Aji. He just tries to attach and makes me stronger. And then tries to escape this way, but where's there to go? So yeah, everything, it's long and drawn out, but everything dies. But essentially, this is the problem that we have. we're beginning to realize there's a problem with our play. We're seeing evidence that maybe the influence thing isn't panning out. But even when we're having that thought, we'll play games like this where, oh my god, it's like we're pro. I mean, look at all of that middle. Are you insane? This can't be wrong. Look how much frigging points I'm picking up. This has gotta be right. Yeah? So that's horrifyingly frustrating to figure out, well, is this actually good? Or should I change my play? I mean, what do I do? Because I like being able to stomp people like this by like a billion points. That's a lot of fun. But influence is really, really hard to take. And the game that I'm about to show you right now um, is a very, very, very nice example of how influence can be hard to hold on to. It's a game where I don't know which one came first. I think this game came first, and then a game afterwards was played that I'm about to show you now, um, in which trying to go so hardcore for influence doesn't work out very well. Even when your opponent is playing slightly bad moves, I'm going to show you how it can go badly. Now, this game was really, really short, so I'm not going to close the board and open up a new one. I'm just going to go directly into it. You can see that I am white. I'm sorry. I'm not black. Sorry. It almost looks like my style, but I'm white again. I'm He opens up with my style, and that's interesting. I mean, right down to the dual 5-4 points. I mean, I played those constantly as a Q. I loved them. It's influence. Usually more partial to the 4-4 and the 5-4, but I love this opening. So I figured that we were going to have a really good game. He tries to split me. Nope, not same players. Good point. Thank you for that one. It's now it's a 3Q again. Still an IGS, but now it is Poppy the 3Q. And I am still white. Though, it's my other account. I'm sorry. My bad. Not quite Kenshin this time. I always had multiple accounts, because I was always trying to play stronger opponents, and then it would drop down. So I would always have like 3 or 4 accounts running at one time, just so I could keep playing stronger opponents and try to get better. Let's see. So I approach normally, I guess. He played something I'd never seen before. Has anyone seen this before? I'd kind of be surprised if you have. No, actually, I won't be surprised. This is actually kind of common nowadays. Alright, Don's seen it. I'm not surprised there. Colm has kind of seen it. So some people have kind of seen it, some people haven't kind of seen it. Yeah, it's one of those moves. Essentially, there are a few ways that you could get fooled. If you play down, for example, you're getting fooled. If you do the normal attachment here, you're getting fooled. If you try and cut diagonally, again, you're getting fooled. Hello, Komoria. If you extend at 1 or 2, though, you're probably going to be okay. So there are quite a few number of ways to get completely tricked here. I had no idea what I was doing, so I'd never seen this before, so I was just kind of winging it. But I didn't play one of the obvious trick plays, so that's cool. He hanes, I hane, and I immediately get cut, so you can see that we're in a fight. And this is actually, believe it or not, indicative of how the influence style can kind of begin crashing around your ears. Because what do you do with an influence style where your opponent is actually going to fight you constantly? I mean, how do you have an opportunity to back off and build up, right? It's whenever anyone actually has a specific style that they're trying to slip into, aggression kills it. If you don't give them that opportunity to slip into their comfort zone, they die. Well, potentially they'll die. It'll be a tougher game for them. Essentially, it's how everyone began taking out Yi Cheng-ho. They realized the only way to prevent him from going into those games where you're never sure how you lost was to come at him immediately and stay on him. That way he can't back off and give you what you want. He's forced to respond to you then and there, and yeah, everything comes tumbling down. That's why he had to change his style. It's why this isn't going to work. Alright, unfortunately I was not Yamashita Keigo, so that's not going to work there, Calm. Good idea, though. So I'm cut. I guess backing off was still going to be, I guess we're still going to try that. Let's see if we can't sacrifice. Maybe get some influence. That's still our plan. So we figure we'll run these out. He cuts through. I guess have an option to potentially kill him here until he extends, because he can actually read things out. So I connect and he gets to live. But I escape, so I'm getting influence. So right now I'm somewhat happy. He's living small in the corner, I'm out. So maybe we're still doing okay here. Unfortunately, he's not going to just give up his group. He's going to try and make shape here. And while he's running me out, I'm not getting the influence anymore. So right away it looks like maybe that, I don't know, we're picking up points, but we're not getting that influence we wanted. So right away we are having trouble with our style, right? I mean, our opponent's getting the influence, we're not. We're picking up points, which we've not really been interested in this entire time. We've always been interested in that influence, building up frameworks, things like that. And that's just not going well right now. I mean, maybe we messed up somewhere, but it's like it's getting harder and harder to do. And this is, again, a nice example of what began running into against some of these stronger players. Luckily, some of them are still greedy, so there is a slight sliver of hope in these games. Right here, for example, you would want to defend that middle group, make certain that it has shape, maybe make shape to attack the top or something. But they're still greedy, they're after points, they underestimate the value of attacking a weak group. Shouldn't black cut S12? That's not going to kill me, and it's going to make me really, really happy. If you're greedy, and you cut here, now I am going to get influence as you're the one crawling across second line. Now we'll be very, very, very happy, because we'll easily slip into our influential game, and victory will be ours. I mean, you could Hane here, maybe, and then sacrifice this. See if you can't connect up your center group. Maybe that would be good. No. I don't think I've made comments to the contrary. I mean, even when I'm going over like a normal professional game, I'll point out something very, very basic, like having a 4-4 point and a 3-4 point is nice because you have the option of going influence or territory. I mean, that's the whole balance idea that you're referring to. Oh, shoot. Frack, where's the game? There it is. And going back, and here we are. So yeah, I mean, this could be cool. Gets to make his group fine. Unfortunately, he doesn't. Doesn't do that either, though, thank God. Takes the corner, so we try and attack. So maybe we'll just kill him now, right? That would be a cool idea. Just have him freaking die. That'd make our day. But again, he's not going to ignore his group. We're going to play this because we're bad and we can't think of anything else to do, so we're just going to, you know, get rid of Aji and co-threats like a boss, because whoever gets into a co-fight, I mean, come on, we're not going to need it. They're either going to die or we're going to get a lot of points. We don't need to fight co's. Clearly, that thought was very, very good for my go. Yeah, I still to this day lose every co. Exactly. Some problems just never go away. So we're going to keep trying to surround him, and he's still responding, which sucks, because usually so many opponents up until this point would just play elsewhere. Not working, so I guess we're going to have to take some territory. He ignores. I try and keep him low, because it's the only thing I can do to get influence right now. I mean, I can put a third line low for influence, I know that. Doesn't really do anything here, but that's a thought that's always in my head when we're playing for influence, right? He does not respond there, though. He set up this nice little attack, and now I'm cut off. That's unfortunate. Oh yeah, anyone watching these games, oh my god, don't learn from whoever I say that I am in these games. I don't want you to pick up these bad habits. That's bad. I try and attack. Looks like it's going to go very, very well for us, and it's going to finally die. But it's not, because I'm still horrible. So this is going to easily escape. Like right now, I'm trying to keep him nicely disconnected. I could connect up my groups and be happy. Instead, he's going to point out that I have really, really important weaknesses here that are going to essentially prevent him from ever dying, and said I'm going to be the one with the 2 weak groups. So that's good. That's good. I like that a lot. Clearly, those 3 stones aren't going to leave anywhere, so I try and live in his corner. Oh, I lose this game. Yeah, absolutely. I do lose this. I mean, essentially, you can see me here crumbling. My whole influence idea isn't really going out very well, and if it doesn't work, I'm left with almost no idea of what to do. So I'm flailing at this point, right? So it's like, okay, we're just gonna live here, and we're gonna try and make certain that we don't have 2 weak groups. We'll have 1 weak group. One is okay, but 2 is a bad number. So yeah, we're just dying. We're dying badly. Defend my cut points. He tries to play a small move, so I get out again. Threaten to connect up. Doesn't let that happen. So go back on the attack, because maybe we can actually kill this after all. I mean, that'd be good, right? Influence will be vindicated if we can just kill this group. But unfortunately, I don't know how to do that and save my own in the middle at the same time. So let's go elsewhere. We'll take, what is that, 4, 5, 6, 7th line territory on the top. That'll be enough, right? 7th line, awesome. Then, of course, he invades. So now we're really, really confused as to what to do, because I guess we have to kill this and the center or something. So I guess we're just going to defend here and hope that we can do that. He tries to settle, so I try and kill him. Why not pincer? Because I'm really, really bad. Though actually no, pincering, I wouldn't want to pincer here. I wouldn't want to pincer here. I think here I actually agree with D17. D17 or kick is okay. Anything to keep him unsettled, so we can actually put these 2 groups against each other. Because right now, he's being just stupid. He should be playing really, really light. Anything at all. Like, come over here, just cap this for shape to keep reducing me. while my 3-3 is open, I'm going to get nothing here. What am I going to do? Am I going to protect that as territory and watch him invade my corner afterwards? This isn't going to be worth very much. Still lost stones on the right, so that's okay. He can afford to play this way. Yeah, so here he can't make a base unless he plays this, which he tries. And I don't understand the importance of not leaving cut points or actually responding directly to shoulder hits, I guess. I'm still just trying to get that influence because we have like a single track mind here. It is like a drug. I mean, that last game that we played, holy crap, is this addicting? A game like this? Absolutely, give me more of this. You know, just whoever I have to kill. Yeah, more of that, please. But instead we're in here, where he's unfortunately not dying, where he attacks me immediately and is winding up living everywhere. And it's just coming down around our ears. We're finding out that actually playing for influence is really, really hard to do. One mistake, and it's just gone. I mean, it's something that we should have realized because we were reviewing professional games at this point. How easily they can manage to live everywhere. And you don't see more influential games because it's like that. You know, all they have to do is live. If you left too much behind, you're screwed. No, my first year I had no teacher. I was learning by myself. Yes, we are a collective. We are Borg. Did I ever have a teacher? Did I ever have a teacher? I briefly had a couple of lessons from Feng Yun around 3 or 4 Dan. Hmm. I can't say that. How can I word that? No, that's insulting. I at one point took lessons from someone, and I didn't like them at all. Not Shy Ghost. From another pro who will remain nameless. And I didn't like them at all. So, I'm not going to say who it was. I'm not going to say why I didn't like them. But I didn't learn anything from that person because I didn't like them. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm not going to say it was him either, Frodwith. Stop guessing, oh my god. I'm not going to go around and confirming or denying every pro that you say, otherwise by process of elimination you'll finally get the right one. But alright. Interesting note, since he's commented, Brain Crash actually knew me around this time, believe it or not. Because Brain Crash has been around since I played on the MSN's Gaming Zone, if it's the same ID, I believe. I think it is. Anyway. So here, I didn't want him cutting through me because I figured I was going to die if that happened, so of course I let him out. I have a basic idea that maybe I can do splitting attack, so we give that a shot. And of course I'm bad at that too, so he's probably going to live here as well. I even forget how this goes. Yep, it looks like he's just going to live here. Yep, we push him to safety. Yep, keep going. We don't want to kill you. That'd be bad. I connect. Why? I don't know. I guess maybe I was worried my stones were gonna get killed. I guess. Yeah, I guess that was the thought there. Probably should connect this way or something. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it. But even here, I'm still screwed, right? I mean, this Atari here, if it takes advantage of it, I'm still cut. So what did I really save? And if I really need to live, I don't need to do that, do I? I can just go down here and I'm fine. So, yeah, this is just like passing, so that's okay. He unfortunately isn't passing. He's trying to surround and kill everything and get rid of all my influence. So I come up with a really great idea to defend my cut point, and he agrees it was a really good idea for one move, and then he goes back and cuts me and shows me that it doesn't do anything. So that one's good. But as a Q, you look for those moves. You see shape, so you try and play shape, and then you realize that shape does nothing, and it just makes you feel so sad. So that's something. I'm now completely surrounded, so I have to do that. He's trying to kill me again, because he's mean. Doesn't let me get influence. He's trying not to let me live. Not a very nice guy. Alright, shape doesn't do it. Alright, no. Proper shape in the right circumstances will do something. Just making shape because it looks cool, probably not the best way to play Go. And that was an instance of I'm going to make shape because it looks really, really cool. On the bright side, we do get Sente here, so that's something. And now we have a new plan. We can run this group on the bottom, and finally, dear God, we'll still get our influence. We'll get the entire bottom of the board, and that'll be good, right? We can still win. I mean, he's not alive yet. Surely if I attack this, then we'll do well. So I try and leave no weaknesses behind. He stops chasing me. And then I stop and realize I'm not alive yet. So clearly I have to connect up. He's going after all of my vital points. But again, I need life, so I guess I have to Atari my way to freedom. And keep Ataring my way to freedom, or semi-Atari my way to freedom. Here, he should have just finished me off. If he just blocks me right now, I'm dead. When did this game happen? It happened, I want to say early 2001, maybe? But yeah, right now I have nothing. He can kill me right now if he just blocks me. He doesn't. So that's another example of how I could get away with this. He doesn't actually block this group. He's going to just let me try to push through. It doesn't matter. With him broken through here, I'm screwed anyway, because I realize that I'm not alive, and that's good enough, because it means I'm going to be needing to spend so many moves to make certain that I'm alive. So here he is reducing me. Joy. I don't get a chance to try to kill him, because I know that I need to live. And now I know that I can't actually get enough points here and I'm falling behind as a result of him picking up just like a bunch down in the bottom. And I also give him Sente, so he gets to keep poking at everything that I have. And a long story short, with pretty reasonable endgame, he ensures that I do not have enough. This game is actually pretty close. It ends by 2.5 points. But the moral of the story is that I realize from not just this game, but so many other games like this one, where if they start attacking me early on and don't let up, I can't kind of back off into that strategy where I'm just going to kind of just build up and get really, really cool areas like we saw. Where? Like, yep, you go back over there. Like we saw in this first game. That games like this are just essentially a fluke, and the only reason why I see it is because people are just occasionally, sometimes, still very, very confused about how to deal with all that influence. If they are aware that it's being developed, games will probably be a lot closer than that, and one like mistake or whatever, and you're just so much in trouble because you bet all of this on that influence that will just kind of disappear. So I was starting not to like this, and I was starting to be fairly confident that I was playing Go incorrectly, or at least very, very risky. It wasn't because I was like such a better player that, um, you know, I was able to turn games into this. It's just because I risked everything, and occasionally that would actually pay out, but it wasn't in any way consistent, I guess you would say, and it wasn't reliable. So I didn't like that. If I wanted to improve, if I wanted to be Don level player, I wanted something more reliable, not than this riskier style that looks really, really flashy and is so tantalizing to keep playing because, I mean, all of that right there on the board, there's just so much there for the taking. But yeah, definitely needed to change. Definitely needed to change. And a bunch of games that looked similar to this one is eventually how I got it into my head that I needed to change. Because I also got stuck at 3Q for a little while. Well, okay, that sounds arrogant. Alright, by little while, I mean like I was 3K for at least a month, so something was going wrong. Um, and I wanted to obviously get better. Um, though to be fair, to be fair, I should have been happy with that. I really should have been happy with that. Because keep in mind what this style is, what this server is right now. I'm still in KGS, or not KGS, IGS, right? I forget if KGS is even around anymore. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Um, but the highest amateur rank was like 4 Dan, right? So 3Q in that rating system is actually not that bad. I really ought to be happy with that. I really should be. It's like, no, you're not getting stuck in having like this kind of mid-Q crisis. You're actually doing pretty well. Maybe you should keep studying and just keep with your strategy. Um, Unfortunately, I threw that all out the window, and I decided that I needed to play a bit more of a well-rounded game. Because I wanted something that I could rely on. And the reason why I'm not going through the game right now is I'm looking to see which one I wanted to go over next. What game did I want to go over next? Alright, I have a game here. Alright, I have a game here which demonstrates one of the changements, is that even a word? One of the changes I make to to my Go. I'm not sure if I want to do it now or tomorrow though. I could do it now. All right, I'll do it now, and then I'll do my breakthrough tomorrow. All right. In that case, I am going to open up another board because this is getting cluttered and messy. But first, I'm actually going to look at Ashley's comments. I'm sorry, I'm ignoring you guys. What? Uh, so, should you play a territorial influential? You need to be kind of balanced. If you're playing for territorial, you're probably going to have more consistent results. But don't be afraid to play influential. I mean, playing how I did in whatever that first game was, or where are you? In this game, being able to play this way, if your opponent is insane and gives you all of this, is one thing, but trying to play like this each and every game is bad. And trying to play this way each and every game is so freaking bad. And having your rank, your entire rank, completely revolving around the idea that we are going to play this way is even worse. So, yeah. Anyway, closing this one, open up a new board. Go black, screen. I don't know why I went black screen. I mean, it's not like I just hid my desktop. Luckily, nothing was on it. True story. One of the times that I did this, I actually had my banking window open, that was nice. It was just barely off screen. That was good. And we're back. Alright, so let's see, let's close the ones I went over. Close Kenshin, close Ashigaru. And now we have a completely new ID again because I changed IDs constantly. Um, 1L, that's not a rank, versus GRNN. Alright, this game actually had... No, I don't. This game actually is memorable for a couple of reasons. One, my style is slowly starting to change. And as you can see, I'm white again, by the way. As you can see, I'm slowly starting to actually go up through the ranks because of it. I'm now at 1Q. And this is one of the first times I actually beat a 1-dan with the kind of changing in the styles that I'm trying to go for. I mean, before this, I beat a couple of them with the whole influence thing, and reviewing them, I knew it was because they just couldn't handle influence either, and I didn't deserve almost any of those wins. So, in a way, for me, I just felt none of them counted. None of those games actually mattered. Probably a bad way to think of it. I was really, really harsh on my Go. But yeah, I made new accounts constantly. On IGS, what is... I have no idea. I don't know what it is anymore. IGS has kind of gone downhill a bit. Especially since most of the good players are now on World Baduk or Taigem. So it's really, really hard to compare. I don't know. I don't even play on IGS anymore unless I'm doing a video. I think the best way to find out what the difference is to find out what the difference is for you. If you want to know what the ranks are different like there, then go play there. Some people put out... some people actually have pages up where you can see like rank conversion charts, but that's crap. I mean, it's cute to put up. I mean, I guess maybe it's like, maybe what it should be, but it's not. Because, for example, on a server like Taigem, where they fight constantly, if you're not used to that, you're going to be weaker there than you are anywhere else. Whereas if that's your style and you're fine with that, you know, take advantage of that, then you're going to be stronger there than you are somewhere else. On, let's say, a server that plays more laid-back games and doesn't leave weaknesses for all that fighting to go along. Maybe that'll confuse you and you won't know where to play after that. So it can vary a lot. Yeah, like KJS. So this game, I was 1Q against a 1-dan. I was trying not to play for all influence. Wow, first move of the game and I screw it up. What am I taking today? Alright, now I'm paranoid. I'm like double checking all of these moves because I'm afraid that they're all wrong. Alright, I'm still opening up Duel 4-4 because I've memorized I don't know how many different games at this point. I mean, not actually studied. To actually get to 1-dan, uh, I was memorizing them every day. At least every other day I had a new game that I was memorizing. And on the weekends, I would replay all the ones that I memorized to keep them in my head. Um, I was kind of psycho about it, really. And I don't recommend that for anyone. I do not recommend that for anyone. Sorry if my voice is high-pitched. It shouldn't be. Why memorize them? Good question. I'll have to go over that later. Suffice it to say, this 1-dan happily played a little bit crazy. He played a 2-space enclosure, which is unusual. I just approached it normally. I'm set to completely just settle here, low. I pictured here a low extension. I distinctly remember that. I was going to extend here and be happy. He pincers me instead. Guess he doesn't want me settling that way. So I follow up. And the rest of this game is going to be a fight. Because he clearly has to cut me. And he clearly has to extend. And this is clearly how most of the games at the 1Q 1-dan range went. They were all fighting games. Which is another one of the reasons why I had to get rid of that influence style, because it just wasn't working against these people. They would not let me get into it. So I had to be comfortable taking territory, taking points, and being able to fight back. Otherwise, if I just keep like backing away, I'm just gonna like hit a wall and then just be beaten to death in the corner somewhere. So he decides not to die in the corner. I need to extend. He attacks a group that I don't extend with. We lean to get out because we don't want to make it stronger. Unfortunately, this is going to make his other group stronger, which wanted the territory. He attaches to me, and because I'm greedy, I try and kill that stone, which happily I can do because, yeah. Unfortunately, even though I kill a stone, this isn't a good idea. I'm pretty certain should always play underneath here. Because even if you kill this stone, look how much Aji you're leaving behind. I mean, right now he gets to extend and help his center. If he helps his center, my center wants help as well, but I can't do it. I have to respond to this. So I have to defend. Later on he gets to push again because of how I defended, so that sucks too. Can't you play M6 first? For... I don't know for who. He plays M6, so can't I play it first? Before the Atari of N3. Before M2. Before N3. Okay. Before that. So before this, couldn't I have played... Yeah, before N3, okay. So take back that move, I guess. Sorry, I think I'm retarded. Um, wait. Norwezi says before M2. Okay, where's M2? Alright, M2 is there. Okay. So before this, couldn't I have done that? Ah. Well, again, we're in the same position. This is actually going to be in a worse position, too, because I could do this. And I do have throw-ins, but I still have to kill those stones on the bottom before they kill me. And I'm also making them stronger. I mean, I do have dupe, 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 but I can't just drop down right now because it's going to leave horrible agi. And if I keep extending, then he's just going to keep getting stronger. And I still have to drop down. And my center is still getting swallowed. I mean, I could make the exchange, I guess. I could just go be super greedy and be like, yeah, 6-line territory for those stones that obviously couldn't kill anything, so they don't deserve to live anyway. Absolutely, make that change. But, yeah. Though here, actually, he'd probably turn. No, this is going to be a worse result. Here, he'd turn. He doesn't have to respond to me up top. That's a mistake. Because I can't kill that. So yeah, here I'd have to resign. Long answer? That. Short answer? No. Anyway, so here I am, getting attacked in the middle again. So I have to give him 4th line territory, only for as long as I have to so I can counterattack. And by as long as I have to, I mean, you know, just long enough for him to completely seal off the entire right-hand side. But we have something in the middle to attack, so that's something. Why I do this, I don't know. I'm making shape randomly again and inviting him to take 5th line territory. Or 6th, whatever he wants, really. We decide that we're going to settle, because we're not going to try and go crazy for influence, I guess. This is a really ugly game. Why am I showing this to you? We get to reduce it, I guess, and try and settle. Oh, this is a good move. Yeah, are we alive yet? I don't know. Let's play away. Clearly, we don't want him getting a large move, so that looks like it's alive enough. See, are we really alive here? I guess. I mean, he can poke out our shape, but if he does that, we can still jump out. Maybe we have... I think we have Miai here, maybe? We can keep running, or we can live. That's obviously a bad exchange. That is so bad. No, that should not be Miai. I should just respond to this. Yeah, this should just be responded to. Anything. If I really want to play this still, I can. Probably not going to. Anything not to have that, though. This is just bad. So, he tries to cut me off. That sucks. I don't know what I'm doing here. I guess we're trying to be tricky. And it's not working. We're just getting rid of co-threats again, because who needs those? Before we go back and finally connect. And ultimately live. At least we're alive, though, so that's good, right? I was so bad at this game. Pretty much. I think you're kind of right about that there, Ashley. Pretty good for black. The corner is pretty solid. He's immortal in the middle. Dude, how do I win this game? By the mysterious double honey. That shouldn't work. Okay, that's good. Maybe I do. I break out of here, it looks like. I say it looks like because I haven't actually gone over this game more than once or twice while preparing for this lecture, so I'm not really certain what happens in it. Okay, I know why I picked it though. Because clearly I'm like ready to actually develop points. I'm not actually actively trying to develop the center. I've gone back to trying to actually get territory. I'm not really great at it yet, but I realize that attacking for something is a good idea, and not just to like develop huge weirdo middles and trying to kill everything. That's not really a smart way to play. I do have a few bad habits. I don't like B16 these days. I prefer C16. K15 is a little weird. I'm leaning on a live group, so no surprise he ignores me. Imagine that. Imagine that. He ensures I can't really get attacked. I try and put pressure on him. He tries to reduce me again. But this time I'm being greedy, and I'm just going to take all the territory in the corner. He gets to settle, and I'm going to develop out. We don't really care about developing the middle, we're just trying to pick up our points. Because if we pick up our points, then that is the new way of winning. We're not going for influence, we're just going to try and go for territory. So that turns to be a bit of a recurring theme in this. I'm trying to pick up points wherever possible. He saves his group. I don't know what I do. I try to attack him. He jumps out. We pincer, or probe rather than surround like we should probably do right now. Way to go. You let this group get away. Congratulations. And again, we're just trying to solidify ourselves. Though it does mean he gets to do happy things like connect up. Yeah, the top looks nice. And I'm always interested in points, so I pick up those. This isn't quite alive yet, so I poke at it. Badly, I throw in. I guess that's fine, why not? Yeah, I love these shapes, don't you like them? Look at this, look what we have here. We've got Tetris, we've got triangles. He has to connect. Trying to block him from connecting. But we're not actively trying to kill him. We're not going to like lose all of our territory trying to kill the guy like we would do in every other game that we've seen so far. All I'm doing whenever possible is little things like this. Just try and cut off and take a little bit of points. Just try to get a few more points in these fights. That's all I want to do. If I can do that, then things are good. Because one thing I really had to learn was not to try to wreck everything by taking out a risky kill. Here I might have been able to, but still. Mindless peep, I don't know what that's all about, but we're going to try and separate him. Whoops, my bad. He leans and we ignore. And yes, actually it is going to die. I remember this now. Because he ignores this. He has too much to worry about. He's got the group on the right and the group in the center. And he can't defend them both. So he made an attempt to get this one out, and I ignored it and killed the other. So the rest of this game is completely irrelevant because here he just lost. But suffice it to say, you can kind of see a really, really early version of how my gameplay was kind of trying to change. All I was doing was trying to avoid leaving too many weaknesses behind and pick up points wherever I could. I wasn't trying to actively develop that middle anymore because we established that one was really, really bad. And by playing this way, we had a very, very unsuspecting realization that we actually still get to kill things occasionally, which kind of made us happy. I mean, it's really, really bad that we couldn't get all of that center like we liked trying to do and watch them madly trying to scramble around and live in it. Unfortunately, we couldn't develop that anymore, but we still could have games that were just as fun. And as Frobus says, now we know why I'm scornful of 5-4 points in Sandra Insight. That has something to do with it. That might have something to do with it, yeah. It might be that I had to train myself not to play those fracking things anymore, because I was doing bad things with them. So yeah, this was a really, really rough time. Occasionally I had games like the first one that I saw, where if I actually play for influence, sometimes it still worked, which was the exact opposite of what I needed to learn. Occasionally we had games where I tried to play for influence and they just destroyed me, which is what I was actually needing to learn. And slowly, as we kept trying to progress and back away from that style, we learned that we can still get into fighting games despite not going for influence. They can still be fun. And if we actually remember to attack for profit rather than attack for any of the other things I was attacking for up until this point, then we actually pick up territory. It was weird. If we actually fight for territory, we pick up territory. That was a mind-boggler right there. Important lesson to learn. Not as obvious as one might think. But the result of that was I didn't suddenly find myself hopelessly behind in a lot of games. Like the two previous games that I showed you, if I didn't get all of the middle, if I didn't kill something, I was dead. I had nothing after that, right? Here, I actually have points to back up what I'm doing. And these are a lot more reliable as a result. It's why the other way of playing is really, really all in, very, very risky. Just betting everything. And a lot of times those bets were just not going to pay out. Tomorrow I am going to have one last lecture series where I finally managed to keep improving, and my Happy Little Gaia account gets to play Fordons. So I have a Fordon game to show with you. And after that, I also have the first time I play a Sixdon, and I get to show that with you as well. So I hope you guys join tomorrow for that. We'll be having that at the regular time, an hour earlier than we had tonight. So you can look forward to those.